Hi! So today's video I wanted to talk about my acne story and basically talk about the progression of it, when it started, how it is now, what I've sort of been through to kind of help it. Hope if anyone's watching out there it might give you a bit of advice, a bit of help, because I know I was definitely in quite a bad way at some points, and it was literally the pure focus of each day. I'd wake up and I'd think about it and I'd hate my face, and I would never ever go outside the house without any makeup on. So if anyone out there feels that that's them or has been them, hopefully this video might give you some advice, maybe a bit of insight into how you can kind of go about helping it, and it might give you another option that you might not have thought about before, or maybe you have thought about it but just not sure if it's the kind of right path for you. Anyway, hope you enjoy. So for me, my acne kind of started around 2013. I was 15 years old and I was in year 10 at high school. So that was the kind of time I first started noticing a few spots here and there. Nothing that major, but still sort of noticeable, and I'd maybe like just put a bit of concealer on them or something like that. And then carrying on from there, so going into year 11, turning 16, and then it was 2014, I started to notice it progressing a little bit more, so I was getting a few more spots. And I think it was about from this point I then started to wear makeup every day, and it was mostly just wearing it to school and things like that, because obviously at that age you feel self-conscious enough without having loads of spots on your face. So that was my way of kind of trying to go around it a little bit, try and make myself feel a bit more comfortable. So from then on, again, it was sort of more of a progression, noticing more spots, and sometimes they'd be a bit more painful, they'd be bigger as well, sort of more like boils and things under the skin that, like, when you touch it it's really sore, as well as all the smaller, like, pimply gross spots. And at this point I was wearing makeup every day without fail. Maybe not so much if I was just staying in the house, but if I was going to the shops, going to college, going to town, anything like that, even sometimes to the cinema, I would wear makeup. And then throughout uni, I feel like I maybe then became a little bit more accepting of it, and it wasn't so much, oh, I hate these spots on my face, I hate my face right now. It was more like, yeah, I've got acne, not much I can do about it right now, just got to deal with it. But with that, because I was doing an acting course, and when we would do camera work, most lessons were on camera, so obviously sometimes there'd be close-ups, so that was something, didn't necessarily make me feel uncomfortable, it just made me more aware and remember that I do actually have acne, and maybe at points did knock my self-confidence a little bit. When at my time during uni, I feel like I was starting to build up my confidence a little bit more and try and be more myself. So then, after I'd finished uni, I thought, right, this is the time I can get it all sorted out. Moved back home, so I've got access to the doctors easily and I can go to appointments and things like that, because being at uni it would have been too much back and forth and transferring to doctors and different things like that. So I thought I'd wait till I was back home to make it easier to go to appointments and things like that. From making this decision, I went to my local doctors and talked about with them what kind of options there were available to me. And at this point I was 21 and it was 2019. So the first thing that I tried were antibiotics that were given by the doctors to see if that would help in any way. And being honest, I don't think they really helped at all. But if they did, it was like a really tiny difference, or it might have just helped to not produce new spots and things, sort of like kept the ones I had like at bay a little bit. But I didn't really notice a huge difference with the antibiotics. So then after that I went back to the doctors and basically said it's not really working, I'd like to try something else. So it was around July 2019, and I was then referred to a dermatologist. This then meant that I was going to be seen at the hospital in a dermatology clinic. And being with the hospital, I kind of had like mixed experiences. So at first I was at the hospital, I was being seen by one doctor and I went to see him maybe 2 or 3 times. Then after that it was a different doctor, so I had to go through it all again and explain the situation and all that kind of stuff. And she also had a different approach, because before I hadn't really been told anything much about having regular blood tests or anything like that, but then this doctor was quite persistent with it, and she wanted me to have blood tests every 2 or 3 times that I went, which is fine because I'm alright with blood tests really. It's just on occasion I have felt quite faint after them, but I usually just have a sit down for 5 minutes and then I'm alright. It was more just the fact that I was receiving like mixed messages from different people and I wasn't sure what was the right kind of thing to do. But anyway, I started my treatment course. I then went on to isotretinoin, which is a type of Roaccutane tablets. I would take 2 tablets once a day. It'd usually be around tea time because you're supposed to take it with food. And I found that that was the best time for me to take it because it was guaranteed that I was always going to eat in the evening. Whereas compared to the morning, having breakfast, the time would always vary, sort of when I would get up, when I'd actually eat something. So the 2 tablets that I took were 20 milligrams each, so that equaled to 40 milligrams, and I do that once a day. I always found it was really awkward trying to get appointments. So when you've been for your appointment, you get a slip and it says on it that you need a new appointment 4 weeks from that date. So you take it to reception and they're supposed to sort it out for you and book it in, and then send you a letter in the post saying this is when your new appointment is. But with this hospital, it was very rare that I'd actually get a letter through the post. They had my right address and everything because I double checked when I next went, so I knew for sure that they had the right address. And it would always be up to me to make the appointment, when I was always told when I was there it's supposed to be them that makes the appointment and they send it out to you. But for some reason, every time it was getting towards when I was supposed to have a new appointment, I didn't have one, so I'd have to ring up, and then even doing that, I would have to go through multiple different numbers to actually get to the right person to make an appointment, which is really annoying. It wasn't just a straightforward ring up the hospital, can I have an appointment, thanks. It was ringing up the appointment centre, they'd have to send you to someone else, and then even then they'd maybe send you to someone else, and it's like, seriously? All I need is an appointment and you're supposed to give it to me in the first place? Like, are you dumb? So then after having to do that a couple of times for some appointments, one of my appointments was then transferred to a different hospital, and actually doing that was the best thing that could have happened, because at this new hospital they were so much nicer. They gave me a new appointment on the day, so instead of going away and waiting for them to get in contact with me, I went straight to the reception. The woman booked in a new appointment and gave me a slip there and then, so I knew exactly when my next appointment would be. And just in general, they seemed like they knew what they were doing a whole lot better, so I much prefer going to that hospital now. So then at this new hospital, they then upped my dosage. So on top of the 2 20 milligram tablets that I was taking, I then took an extra 2 5 milligram tablets, so altogether took me up to 50 milligrams, which beforehand at the other hospital I was told was my maximum that I could take for my weight, but turns out it was a lie. So then after a couple of months of being on 50 milligrams, I went back for another appointment and they upped me to 55 milligrams, which that was my maximum that I could take for my weight. So altogether at that time I was taking 2 20 milligram tablets and 3 5 milligram tablets once a day, with my tea in the evening. And going back to a couple of months ago, I did start to see quite a difference in my skin. And I noticed a lot of the redness had gone down, a lot of the big spots had gone down. I wasn't getting as many. And each time at the appointment, I would get weighed. You have to take a pregnancy test because with these tablets, it would harm an unborn baby if you did happen to be pregnant. They strongly advise that you don't get pregnant while you're on them. My appointments were roughly 4 weeks apart, so once every month. And also some of the side effects that I experienced were dry lips, some dry skin, and also some small patches of eczema. But they were all pretty easy to treat. I was just putting cream on and stuff like that. So I finished my isotretinoin course on the 19th of January 2020, and I think the last month that I was taking it since getting acne was the best that my skin's been, and it kind of gave me a bit more self-confidence, and I was actually starting to feel a bit happier in myself and like happier with the way I looked. And it was almost kind of a bit of relief as well, thinking all these years I've been going through having spots, having acne, not really knowing how to treat it really, or trying different methods like getting cleaning things, face washes, face masks just from the shops and things, and none of it ever working, or sometimes would make my skin worse. Now that I've been off it for a few weeks, my skin mostly is still alright. There have been a few spots that have appeared on my cheek on both sides, mostly more this side. There's been one spot that's sort of stayed there for a good few weeks and hasn't really gone down a whole lot. And then just a few days ago, I got a new spot right next to it, and it was more of a boily one, so at first it was quite painful. So I've had the odd couple of spots here and there that have come back, but obviously not as major as it was before. And I do still have some scarring on my face, mostly like on my cheeks, probably a bit on my forehead, just from where previous spots have been. But for the past few months, I have felt more comfortable. I have felt better in my skin. Day to day, I don't really feel the need to wear makeup anymore. I mostly just wear it if I'm going on a night out, or if it's a special occasion like a birthday or something. And I use it now more to enhance my face rather than hide it away, which I think just saying that is a really big step, and it does make me feel quite happy about it. And I'm so glad that I've had this medication and it has helped a hell of a lot. They do say it should take around 4 to 6 months for one course to work, but they also don't want you to be on it for a long time, just for the damage that it could do to like your liver or your kidneys and things like that. So doing it 6 months at a time and then taking a break is the best way to do it. But anyway, this has been my acne story, and I hope it's been maybe interesting to some people out there. Maybe it's been a bit of insight. Maybe it'll help some people out there to go out and try and help their skin get better. But anyway, there's always options out there. If you feel uncomfortable in your skin because of acne, just know that it won't last forever, because I know I was definitely in that state and I just wanted it to go away, but it will definitely get better. You just need to find the right treatment, you need to find the right methods, and it will improve a whole lot. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave any comments down below. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Who knows what's gonna come next? Anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time, my little chickadees.